Hey guys, okay, we're going to do the video for 1-02, Algebraic Properties. We're going to review those. This is going to be a build-up of what we did in 1-01. Now, I'm going to warn you ahead of time, this may come off as a little awkward, but our objective here is, one, not only to get more control of solving equations and understanding these properties, but what we're really looking to do, which is two, is to get you ready for geometric proofs. Geometric proofs are very abstract and tricky, and we're going to build you up to that slightly, and this is part of the process. So you want to do this the right way, or at least the way we're showing you. That way, when you get to geometric proofs, which is a pretty hefty standard, you'll be in good shape. Okay, let's take a look at the first part of this, which is the properties. So you have these properties here. This looks super intimidating. When you look at it, you got A's, B's, and C's running all over the place. You got squares, and you're multiplying, and equal signs, and so forth. All this is saying is these are properties of an equal sign. So when we have an equal sign, you could apply these. An addition property is very simply saying that you could add things in an equal sign. Okay, when you add things to both sides, it's equal. We know that already. The division is saying the same thing, and that's really what this comes down to. Alright, so don't get all intimidated by what you see here. It's an introduction of the formality of it, and it's really just people making things a little bit more complicated than it needs to be. But when we get to geometric proofs, we're going to be using this lingo over here, and we kind of want you guys to have it under control. Well, we do want you to have it under control, not kind of. And the idea is that we're starting now with something that you understand, so when we get to geometric proofs, you can have more control over it. So let's take a look at some of these examples real quick. Again, or just a reminder, we're looking for that olageometry.com logo. That's how you know there's going to be a video on the worksheet you're working on, and which problems are going to cover. In this case, number 5. Now, on number 1-1, we talked about how I solved this. We're going to go over that a little bit again. So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to distribute. So I'm going to distribute. I'm going to have 4x minus 4 plus 4x equals negative 4x plus 24x plus 32. That's the statement side of your table, of your t-table. Here we're going to talk about what property I applied, and what I applied is the distribution property. So I'm going to just say the distribution property. Now I'm going to combine like terms. So this guy, add together on, let's make this clear, that's an equal sign. So I could add those together, that is 8x minus 4 equals 20x plus 32. And I'm just going to write here that I combine like terms. The nice thing about this exercise is that it's also slowing me down, which probably bugs you a little bit because you just want to get this done. But mastery in math requires you to slow down and think things through at this point. And this is part of that as well. Now we're going to solve this by, I'm going to add 4 to both sides. And then I'm going to have 8x equals 20x plus 36. And I'm going to say that is the addition property or the add property. Next, I'm going to subtract. I guess I will subtract 20x here. I don't like having a negative in front of x, but it's going to happen. So I'm going to get negative 12x equals 36. When you're dealing with things like integers, remember, keep a calculator handy, not because I want you to rely on the calculator, but it's easy to make a mistake, and you can double check yourself here. Now I'm going to so what did I do there? I subtracted, so that's going to be the subtraction property. You see how this just slowed me down? I wanted to rush to the next thing. Okay, now I'm going to divide negative 12, and that's the division property. And I'm going to get x equals negative 3. And there's my answer. So what I did here is I made a statement, backed it up. Made a statement and backed it up. And that's what I did. Very important life skill. Okay, just going to double check and make sure you can see all that, which you can. Okay, moving forward. All right, this here is the volume of a cone. And the reason why I'm going over this one is because I want to take some time and point out what it says here, area of the base. Area of the base. It's not coincidental that equations, like even here, are using lowercase letters. Because in math, capital letters also have a different, sometimes have a different meaning. And in this case, they're using B as area of the base. So if it was a cone, this would be pi r squared because that's the circle. If it was like, let's say, a square pyramid, it'd be length times width, or side squared. All I'm trying to say here is that's not a regular B. That is area of the base. And if you notice I repeated it so many times, it's because it's important and you're going to need it in Unit 3. All right, let's take a look at this. I'm going to rewrite this one because it's going to be a whole lot quicker. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide out the h. I could have divided out the 1/3 first and it would have been the same result. So I have v h equals 1/3 base. Okay. And I'm going to say that's the division property. So I'm just going to write that over here. Division property. All right. We're in a situation here like we were in 1-1 where I have a fraction and that intimidates us. There's two ways we could handle that. The easy way we could do it is we could cross multiply. Remember, division or a fraction is actually a division problem. 1/3 equals 0.333. That's when 1/3 is actually divided. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cross multiply it and just call it the multiplication property. So when I do that, I'm going to say that this 3 goes there and that 1 goes down there, which that 1 times h, it's kind of a funny h, is just going to be h. So I'm going to have 3v over h equals b. There is a number of ways to handle this, and I just gave you the shortcut. However, if you're comfortable with a certain way, then I suggest you stick with that. And I'm going to call this the multiplication property. But basically, to conclude this, is that if you divided out the 1/3, which you can do, then just call this the division property. Since I cross-multiplied it, I call it the multiplication property. Okay, guys, I hope you guys found this video helpful.